sinking in. We're getting there. All right, I'd like to call this regularly scheduled meeting of the Planning Commission to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Garcia,
Here.
Commissioner Krushat,
Here.
Commissioner Pahana,
Here.
Vice Chair Cure,
Here.
Chair Walker,
Here.
all present.
Announcements. These proceedings may be viewed on demand on the City of 29 Palms website at www.29palms.org. You may also live stream this meeting by going to the city's website and clicking on the meeting agendas link. Public comment. This is time for the public to address the Planning Commission on issues within the jurisdiction of the Commission that are not on the printed agenda. All comments are to be directed to the chair of the Commission and shall not consist of any personal attacks. Members of the public are expected to maintain a professional and courteous decorum during their comments. There is a time limitation of 3 minutes per person. If you haven't done so already, please fill out a name and address slip and give it to the Planning Commission Secretary. The Planning Commission is prohibited by Brown Act, state law, from taking action or discussing at length items not on the printed agenda. Public comments on items, specific agenda items, will be deferred until consideration of that agenda item. I'm going to open public comment. Just real quick, we received a bunch of public comment. Were any of those for a general public comment, or were all of them for an agenda item comment? General. Okay. Peter Lane.
Don't start the timer yet. Hi, members of the City Planning Commission. I'm Peter Lang, and my house is at the western part of Samarkand. I stand before you today to urgently request you to maintain our existing ban on utility-scale solar development in the City of 29 Palms. This ban, which is enshrined in our development code, which is 19.18.030, was responsibly put into place by your predecessors back in 2012, shortly after the Highlander 1 solar field became operational. The Planning Commission stated, and I quote, do you guys know this by heart? Commercial solar fields can be shown to have direct adverse impacts to the aesthetic quality of the desert vistas of the community that the community now enjoys, deleterious effects to the tourist industry that the community depends on, potential adverse impacts to property values for the properties adjoining the surrounding facilities, and that's me. I don't think anyone in the room is closer than me to the location, and potential serious impacts to the surrounding, the biologic, cultural, and social resources to our community. That's the end quote. Again, that was expertly written by this commission in 2012. Y'all did the right thing to protect me, to protect you, to protect us all. This was a display of true leadership, our responsiveness to a project that really sucked. These adverse impacts from the existing solar energy plants in 29 Palms have only intensified since this ban was enacted. The necessity of this ban is even more critical now. Industrial scale plants in the Morongo Basin have exacerbated our air quality issues, increasing fugitive dust, and contributing to more frequent and severe dust storms. These dust storms pose significant health risks to our community. Moreover, lifting this ban would lead to the destruction of local desert tortoise habitat, a species already struggling for survival. So I've got some photos. These are desert tortoise that live in the actual site. And they are magnificent, majestic animals that can live 50 to 80 years. Beautiful vistas. I'm enjoying the beautiful vistas. Amazing, amazing, beautiful vistas. And one last one. And we have a website here. StopBadSolarFarm29.org.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Suzanne Hines? Sorry, Hines, sorry.
Hi, everybody in the room and commissioners and audience. I also am speaking on behalf of the proposed solar power plant. And so, yes, our group has this website, and we have 10 very substantial reasons on the website why we believe that that solar power plant should not be developed there. And so I hope everybody will check it out. I have copies of the section of the website, the 10 reasons that we oppose it. So I can hand those out, or you can check out the site on your own. Tonight I just wanted to focus on one particular reason, and that is the idea that the plant is unavoidable and that we might as well just go along with it in order to get maximum compensation from the developer. When this project was initially proposed by the developer E-Group, they essentially gave us an ultimatum where they said that either you approve the plant or they would go around you via AB 205 and just have the state of California permit the plant. And if they did that, this is the quote, the city would have far less control over project design and conditions of approval and would receive substantially less in public benefits. So the thing is that when you begin to Google this, you find that it really is a pretty hollow threat. In other words, AB 205 would not permit the development of a solar plant out there because of the healthy reproducing population of desert tortoise. It would violate the Endangered Species Act. It's a non-starter. Maybe they didn't know about that desert tortoise population when they proposed the plant and chose that site. I don't know. But it really should not proceed, and I do not believe AB 205 would qualify or pertain to our situation. And further, if by some chance the plant were permitted, the state mandates enforceable benefit negotiation with our city. I mean, it's very, very clear. If you just start Googling this, you'll go to the California Energy Commission, you'll see that there's opt-in certification fact sheet where they talk about the criteria for acceptance into AB 205. It could, any proposed development, solar development, could not violate regulations and laws, which this would. Further, it goes into much detail about the kinds of compensation and benefit that the authorizing city, the city who would have authorized it, would be entitled to. So just really want to
Thank you.
invite us all to think about that. Thank you.
And the last one I have for public comment, and I'm going to butcher this, and I'm really sorry, I'm horrible with names. Coriano? Yep.
Hi. I'm Coriano.
There we go.
My name is Coriano. I've been a barber in 29 for the past 4 years. I take pride in serving the community and our Marines. I've been working at different barbershops. And working at barbershops is awesome, but it's like having roommates. After a while, you just kind of want to do your own thing. So I opened up my own personal studio right behind Janine's beauty supply store. And so what I'm asking for and what help from the community is just if they can point me in the right directions for like waivers, reductions, or exemptions for this site plan review. Just for a 10 by 10 little unit studio, they're asking for like 1,600. I put a lot into the studio, so it's kind of, if I can have some help from the city and the people, I would appreciate it. If any type of help, point me to the right direction where I can speed this process up. It's affecting my business, you know, my family. So please, yeah, I'm a little nervous first time, but thank you guys for your time. Yeah. So Coriano, Coriano. So thank you guys.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Do we have any other public comment? I have 3 for item number 2. Did I miss you?
I did a dual.
Oh, you got to do one for each.
Oh, believe it, students. Okay. All right. Well, I'll fill out another one. So my name is Eric Menendez. I just wanted to just briefly request at some point on the future agenda items if we could again start talking about the downtown specific plan. I feel like we kind of opened Freedom Plaza and it kind of went by the wayside. So I just kind of was talking. I went to the state of the county and ran into Stone there, and we were just talking about development and economic development and so forth. I just feel like, you know, both the towns up here in the county, we're not getting the economic development insight that a lot of other communities have. So I just would like to look at downtown specific plan again. If we could bring that back to the table, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Got it. Okay, any more public comments? All right, I'm going to close public comment. Commissioner comments and reports of meetings attended. We'll start with Alex.
I attended the city council meeting last week. I haven't attended any of the meetings, but I would like to say every winter I do a clothing drive for the homeless. So I am collecting blankets. I'll be started collecting them probably the beginning of November. So if anyone has extra blankets, please let me know. That's about it for me.
Jim?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I also attended the city council meeting last Tuesday, and I've attended no other meetings since our last meeting.
Leslie?
Hello, everyone. I have not attended any meetings since our last.
Jessica?
Hi, I have not attended any meetings.
I have not attended any meetings either. And so at our last meeting, I made an announcement that I would be resigning at the end of our last meeting in October. I had some reasons for moving to Oregon, and that was to go help take care of my aging father. He has since passed away. So my reasons for moving are now kind of not there. So I'm not going to be moving, and I'm not going to be resigning from the Planning Commission. So I just wanted to put that out there so everybody knew why they're going to see my smiling face in our first meeting in November. So thank you. Okay, consent calendar. Do we have a motion and a second?
I motion to accept the consent calendar as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Garcia,
Aye.
Commissioner Krushat,
Aye.
Commissioner Pahana,
Aye.
Vice Chair Cure,
Aye.
Chair Walker,
Aye.
5-0 approved.
We have no items removed from the consent calendar. So moving on to our public hearings. Can I get the staff report, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the only Planning Commission hearing tonight. It is about conditional use permit number 24-000-002, otherwise known as Mojaveland. What this conditional use permit is for for the development of a miniature golf course and other art-related activities. The project is proposed in 2 phases. Phase 1 will include an 18-hole miniature golf course, mural painting, and sculpture garden. And Phase 2 will include outdoor classrooms and puppet theater, obviously designed around the youth and children. The location is on the same property as Theater 29 on the area that was formerly considered to be for Pioneer Park. It is zoned for public P, and the property itself is 21 acres, and they're proposing to lease out approximately 2 acres of it between phase 1 and 2. The city owns the particular property, and Mojaveland is proposing a 5-year lease, and that would be renewable. And then no permanent structures are proposed for development at this time. The applicant is proposing 4 small cargo containers and 1 historic trailer for use as storage. Again, this project was looking at a portion of the site was planned to be Pioneer Park. That being the case, we reviewed their proposal against the environmental studies and the technical information that was there for Pioneer Park, which are still valid, and environmental impacts have basically been avoided by their design. So, with the exception of a few environmental conditions that we needed to bring forward. So this is the subject property. This is on Sullivan and Adobe, where Theater 29 is located. This is the zoning and general plan designations. The pink is service commercial, or CS. The big green odd shaped is P for public space, and then the yellow, different shades of yellow are different degrees of or densities of residential use. So on an aerial, this is where Mojaveland would be. It'd take about approximately that part of the project site. If you do a blow up, the red is where Mojaveland would be approximately. Theater 29 and is located here in green, and they would be sharing the parking. So Mojaveland would not be in full operation while Theater 29 is doing their performances. So they would be able to use the same parking lot. This is the overall site plan. They're doing a little bit of grading, and they are installing 2 detention basins and also some ADA pathways and a couple of accessible parking lots or parking spaces. And this is how it interlays with Theater 29 with the parking lot here to the north. This is an artist rendering. I may be stealing the applicant's thunder a little bit, but this is artist rendering of the entryway and some of the outdoor class activities that are intended for Mojaveland. Again, we've reviewed the environmental impacts based upon with the prior environmental studies, and reviewed and determined that there's really no new environmental CEQA determination that is to be made, even though we have brought forward some of the conditions of approval on the project, and we are recommending that the Planning Commission approve Mojaveland and adopt the resolution.
Do we have any questions for staff?
I have a question. Regarding Pioneer Park, are there any future pursuant, like, or grants that, are we trying to continue that at all?
Those grants come up once every several years, and they just haven't come up recently.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as it comes up again, yes, we will be pursuing them again. How that interplays with this is why we have a 5-year lease. And so if it needs to be modified, we can.
So we can modify the Pioneer Park plan for a future grant with the adjustment of the 2 acres that are occupied by
Yeah,
Mojaveland.
all of that can be modified. So
Okay, that's all. I just wanted to make sure
Yep.
we could do that.
Isn't the city also looking to relocate the animal shelter to
that
this?
that is
area too?
that is in the future. That is not on the same property, or it's on the same property, but not exactly on the same spot.
Yeah.
So there would be
No impact to that?
no conflict between the proposed animal shelter and here. I mean, it's a little early to show where the exact layout of the proposed animal shelter,
Yeah.
but we're purposely designing both so that way they don't conflict.
Got it. Any other questions?
Real quick, just so I understand, so although this project is not exempt from CEQA, because we've already done a study for the previous project and it doesn't affect it, we can still use that?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. That's all I had.
Alex, any questions?
I had the same question for the most part.
Jessica?
No.
Okay, no questions. So, I would like to invite the applicant, Ms. Anna Stump, if she'd like to speak.
Thank you very much. My name is Anna Stump, and I'm the director and founder of Mojaveland, and this is Cheyenne Souter, who's the executive director of AHA Projects, who is my fiscal nonprofit sponsor. And so if you have any questions for her, also you can ask her. And I also want to acknowledge that Tara Bottorf is in the audience, and she's representing Theater 29 if you have any questions. I have a very short 4-minute presentation if you would like to see it.
The floor is yours.
Okay, great.
Did you want the did you want
The
the video?
slideshow.
The slideshow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next slide. I am an artist. I'm not a developer, so this is all new to me. I was a teacher for a long time, and you might be wondering, how does an artist and a teacher decide to build a miniature golf course? Well, about 20 years ago, I was teaching in Turkey. I had a Fulbright scholarship, and they asked me to make a sculpture, and I decided, because I had young kids, to make a play structure for children. And so this was the very first time that I made something that was both combining art and interactivity for children and families. Next slide. Fast forward to 2018, there we go, keep out. I convinced my partner, kicking and screaming, to move to 29 Palms. We chose 29 Palms because of the art community here, and also because I sort of knew I wanted to do a big project, and I thought it would be much easier to work with a city rather than a county, and I feel that I made the right choice. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I got here, and I had retired from teaching, but I thought, then I realized, oh, this town is really into sports, and maybe I could combine miniature golf. Why miniature golf? I grew up playing miniature golf because I grew up in Southern California, but even more importantly, as a mother, that was where I always took my kids to birthday parties in San Diego County, where we lived. And I thought, oh, there was a miniature golf here at one point, not here anymore. I think it could happen again. So I sort of foolishly bought a commercial property on Adobe Road, thinking that it was zoned correctly for miniature golf. But I quickly found out that there were a lot of access problems, as you know. And after realizing that I was going to have to underground 7 power poles, which was not in the cards, I asked Travis, Keith's predecessor, what can I do with this? And he said, you can make an art studio there. And so I said, okay, I'm going to make an art studio. Next slide. So I started to build miniature golf holes, and I invited other people, other friends, artist friends, to build some too, and invited some of my friends to come and play. The first time we had a gathering, it was a pop-up. It was like an art show. It was an art show. It was totally free. We had 5 holes, and then from 21 to 23, by 2023, when I finally needed to stop doing this because it was getting too popular, we had 13 holes. Each hole is designed by a different local artist. So it's really promoting art and fun at the same time. Next slide. We also had art activities. It was always about the art. So after the families would play, then we would invite the kids and sometimes the adults to actually do activities. I have 2 teachers that I have gotten grants, and I am able to pay to teach the kids and oversee the kids. And then we just started painting on the cabin that is there. Next slide. After I realized I needed to close the actual Mojaveland, I thought about, okay, I need to have some portable holes so that I can keep Mojaveland alive while I try to figure out what I'm doing. So I made some portable holes, and for the past 2 years, I have been going once a month during good weather to the 29 Palms Farmers Market and setting up in the middle and playing with the kids, and then sending them up to do art activities that have been sponsored by AHA projects and other grants that I've gotten. So basically what happened was after I got some temporary use permits to function, and then I had to stop. And then Keith called me and said, hey, Anna, would you consider public land? And it was Keith's idea, and I really appreciate it so much that he had, I mean, I hope that's not bad, just that I said it, but it was really so amazing that he thought that maybe this could work out. And so we started to do the planning. Next slide. So you've seen these pictures. These are my renderings. All the buildings are temporary. They would all be covered with bright murals, again, by local artists. Everything is about supporting local artists and the local families. And that's a little art area. The picture up on the top is just what it looks like right now. Next slide. And then could be a sculpture garden. We don't have the sculptures yet, but I'm imagining there are some sculptures on Mojaveland now. The pencil drawing shows the next phase, which would be an outdoor classroom area, which would allow us to do more kinds of crafts with the kids. And that is it. I think the next slide is just showing, yeah. Basically, the miniature golf holes are divided into the first 8 are fully ADA, as what the federal government requires, and then there are 9 holes that are not ADA, and then the 18th hole will also be ADA. So just so you understand how that would work. There's really strong rules, and I fully understand them and want to be compliant about that. I also have a under 3-minute video if you'd like to see kids playing on Mojaveland, if you have time.
Do you wanna- Sure.
Okay. It's on YouTube. So anyway, I am here for questions, and also Cheyenne is here for questions.
I'm here as well.
Do we have any questions for the applicant?
I do if we get a shot.
I would love to see closer. I couldn't really see the whole plan zoomed out just to see it. I know there was restrooms that were going to be added, or that was a temporary restroom.
Porta potties.
Porta potty. Okay.
Yeah, the plan calls for a permanent restroom to be constructed in phase 2
Okay.
because it's only a 5-year lease,
Okay.
and it doesn't really make sense to put in a full
Yeah.
bathroom if I'm, yeah.
So where is that on the plan? I
It's
just couldn't
not
see.
on the plan, but
Okay.
it would be right,
Thank you. Okay, I can't.
sort of central to both areas.
Oh, this is the.
And we plan to have 2 porta potties, 1 urinal, 3 porta potties, 1 ADA, 1 urinal, and a drinking fountain. Per CUP and the laws.
Yeah, and so that would have, you would just have like the hand washing sinks with the porta potties.
Mhm.
Yes.
And then these are the mats for the ADA mat, the blue mat. Okay.
Right, so the darker little skinny lines here, those are the ADA pathways.
Okay. Thank you.
And that's the Moby decks. Cool.
I know that you're putting up temporary restroom facilities, which are basically porta potties. And one of the terms of, or one of the draft conditions of approval is that the applicant shall install permanent restroom facilities upon the development of phase 2, or 5 years from the date of approval. I look back, phase 2 is 5 years from the date of approval. Is there any chance that you could put the more permanent type facilities in earlier? Or is there a plan for that? Because I know what porta potties get like in the summertime and.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we won't be functioning in the summer. It won't be open in the summer.
Okay.
And unless we have the lease renewal, it's very hard to think about putting in a permanent restroom, which we would then have to take out if the lease is not renewed,
Okay.
including the septic and everything. So that's our idea, is it just doesn't make sense financially or environmentally. It's a lot of waste to
What-
destroy
With the
that.
5-year renewal, what's the basis for whether it's renewed? Is just based on the conditions being met on the 5 years?
That's correct. So there's a couple of reasons why there's a limited time frame here. One was to give the applicant a chance to see how this particular location, how this all functions.
Got it.
And secondly, going back to Pioneer Park to see if we need to make adjustments because of any potential developments for Pioneer Park. So those are the 2 main reasons.
So
Okay.
in 5 years, if they wanted to renew their lease, they would have to put in a permanent.
That's the way the
Restroom
condition
facility.
reads now.
Got
You'd
it.
have to put in a permanent restroom facility. Okay.
Their days of operation were gonna be, looks like mid-September through mid-June.
Yeah, during the summer, it just seems a
And
little
only
unnecessary.
Saturdays and Sundays.
And
Which
we're a
2 weeks.
nonprofit organization, so this is not a financial boon or a financial seeking activity. So it'll all determine on grants and donors and fundraising if we can enter into phase 2 and take that leap to do the public bathroom. And then at that time, we'd probably want a longer,
Yeah.
commitment from the city.
Would it be if the park was approved or the grant money for the park, would this be integrated with the park, or is it completely separate?
Yeah, so it's our opinion that this sort of meets the spirit of Pioneer Park because it was meant to have an artistic and sports element to it.
Mm-hmm.
So
So if there was funding for the park, essentially, is there a possibility of creating public restroom
As part of
that
the
would
park.
As
and
part of the
operate
park.
for the
Have to do it.
entire
right, and
facility?
and I can be corrected, but they're also the Theater 29, if needed, can be open up their restrooms as well
Okay,
for the users of Mojaveland.
got it.
And
Okay.
then I had a question more for the Theater 29 stuff. I know when you guys hold auditions and do other things, there's, could be a lot of people parking there. Do you generally do auditions on the weekends, or is it like later in the evening?
More in the evening and things like that, later in the evening. We don't usually do auditions during the day.
Okay,
They have come and made a presentation to us, and we are very excited about the possibility of bringing more art to that corner of the city. We're just very excited about it.
okay. And then my other question is just the building new things and then us not thinking through the drainage and storm stuff for that really kind of gets me concerned, because I think I don't want to be causing us more headaches down the road. There's the two retention ponds, but has the city engineer kind of reviewed this and gave it a good? Okay.
The city engineer required the hydrology study, which recommended these retention ponds,
Okay.
As well as those, the burn buildup.
as well as the berm buildup. Now, there is an existing berm right over here. It's maybe a little hard to see, but it's basically being enhanced and expanded.
Okay. Any more questions for the applicant?
Yeah, for the cultural resources side, there's going to be a tribal monitor, it says, that'll be attending with any kind of digging. Cool, I appreciate that.
Any other questions for the applicant? Okay, you may sit down, please.
Thank you.
I'm going to open public comment now. The city has received 3, Vino's was for this, yes? Okay, the city has received 3 letters. Was Vino's for or against? So the city's received 3 letters
I have 2.
for this project. Vino's didn't get printed. So we got one from Vino, one from Plum Nelly Creative, and one from Kim Resor.
I don't have that one.
All
I don't have the
And-
Kim one. Kim? Oh, this.
all
I
in
saw that.
support
Thank you.
of the project. So those will be, I'm not going to read those in, but they're all in support. So moving on to public comment for this item number, we have Matthew Casey? Just Case. Oh, Case, sorry.
Hello, my name is Matthew Case, and I am a board member of a arts and education nonprofit in Yucca Valley called the Highway Sanctuary. I wanted to put my voice in support of this project through the work that we've done at the Highway Sanctuary, which is providing a place for artists to create sculptures in our permanent sculpture garden, as well as providing free workshops for members of the high desert community. I have been able to firsthand see the kind of impact that these nonprofits and these places of gathering for community members can really be add to the positivity of the community itself. And I highly suggest that you approve this. Thank you.
Thank you. Heather Drake.
Hi, my name's Heather. I live very near this property, and I fully approve of this property being developed. I think that it is a fantastic use of that public land. And I agree with, I don't know who was over there, bringing more art to that little pocket of 29 Palms. I think would be great if we could build that up, since there is the public land there to be used for such. I also wanted to say that there's a lot of art in this city, but there's really not a lot of art that children can actually interact with and touch and play with. So I think that this would be just a really great addition to our art culture in our community, as well as, a place of education. And I know we're talking about it being, aimed at locals, but it's also going to be utilized by visitors and tourists. And I think it's a great location near the entrance to the park right there. The families that are camping, bring their children out and, enjoy some miniature golf and maybe catch a show at Theater 29 later on. I just think it's a perfect plan, and I want you to approve it. Thank you.
Thank you. Gretchen Grunt.
Hello, I'm Gretchen Grunt, and I have the 29 Palms Creative Center right there next to theater and Mojaveland, and so excited for it. It's going to be such an asset and a community builder. I experienced Mojaveland when it was over on Adobe Road, and just gave me so much pride in our little town that we create these opportunities for people to come and get together and interact and have fun. And the fact that there's education going to be added to it, that I didn't know about that, that's really exciting too. So I hope that it gets approved, because this is a really great way to build more in our community with the arts. Thank you.
Thank you. Eric Menendez.
Hello. I just also wanted to be in support of Anna. She's done fantastic things for the community. She's helped us out at the lobby when we have that space open. And one thing I also would like to point out is that I think we do need more public educational spaces and places for families. One thing I'm working on with the Joshua Tree Gateway Community Alliance, we have a weekly presence at Village Fest now. So we're getting a lot of families, a lot of local Coachella Valley residents. So I know they're not local to the high desert, but they kind of come to the booth and they're just in awe, because we have a video monitor now that's kind of showing the activities. And I've invited Anna to come once it gets cooler to do some exhibitions down there, because we're going to be opening up. We're going to be getting in a bigger space, hopefully, if the board down there approves it. And we're going to hopefully have like a nonprofit from the high desert, like whether it be the Land Trust, the Conservatory, or the Park Service, or anything like that, to come down and kind of showcase what we have to offer here. So anyways, I totally support this project, and I think Anna's a fantastic community member. Thank you.
Thank you. Ben, did you want to speak on just general public comment or on this? Okay.
My name is Ben Alanoff. I'm an artist. I live in Joshua Tree. I've collaborated with Anna on a number of projects, and I want to say that I think her project and what she's doing is exactly what any city should embrace. It's great for artists, and then it enlivens the community, and she's doing a public service for no money. So I just really support it, and I think the artistic community in general does as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other requests for public comment? Okay, I'm going to close public comment and bring it back up here for commission discussion. Don't all speak at once.
Just want to say, I have quite a few friends who went to Mojaveland while I was there, and nothing but good things about it. The 29 Palms Art Gallery, as a kid, used to give, I don't know if they still do, but they used to give free classes to kids and showcase children's art, and it was something that really got me into creating art today, and taught me a lot about the sculpting that I still do today. So I'm in all support for anything that's free education, especially for children. So
It's a good project, and I agree with staff's recommendation.
Leslie, Jessica, any comments?
Dylan?
I agree. I think this is kind of going to be neat. This will be fun and kind of a neat place to go take the kids, and it'll be exciting. So do I have a motion?
I motion to, approve staff's recommendation. There you go.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Aye.
I'm sorry. Commissioner Cruciat?
Aye.
Commissioner Pahana?
Aye.
Vice Chair Cure?
Aye.
Chair Walker?
Aye.
5-0 approved.
All right. All right, moving on to discussion and potential action items. Do we have any? All right, moving on to Community Development Director updates.
Just very, very quickly as a quick update, I did have a chance to present to the PAC the the whole concept of ancillary entertainment as a separate use, and I had a good in-depth discussion with the city manager about the topic, and we're looking at something quite administrative. It's not quite public yet. It's not quite gelled. But once we dig a little deeper, we'll do further community meetings and meet the business community, the artist community, and we'll bring it back. It's probably one more workshop, and then we'll probably be ready to do for public hearings.
Okay. No study session tonight. Are we all ready for adjournment? And again, I would like to thank you guys for coming out, because, you know, we don't usually get big crowds. It was nice to see a lot of smiling faces in the audience. So thank you all for your continued support and the good things you're doing out in the community. Thank you. We're going to adjourn the meeting.